Hi, it's Russ Vaughan for theforestblog.com again. I'm here on an active thinning operation where you can see behind me we've got small diameter larch logs, and there's some other species decked up around me, but they're smaller trees that we're utilizing here in the forest. And as you can also see behind me, this is after we're harvesting. So that means that this is what the forest is going to look like after the fact. So if you can see how many logs are here, and there's many more smaller logs and other logs around here, you can imagine how many trees were on this landscape before we came in here and did the thinning. Now it looks similar to maybe what you would think of a park. There's still a fair bit of debris on the forest floor, and we can do one of two things. We can either pull that debris out and utilize it in a biomass burner and create power, or we can leave it on the ground and either come back and do a prescribed burn. It has beneficial properties. If we leave it on the ground and we allow that to decay and go back into the soil, it's also got beneficial properties. A lot of people are talking about biochar these days, and it's quite possible that burning it after harvest, once you've got the forest thinned out, is going to provide some nutrients to allow fertilization of the soil and improve the soil composition for the rest of the trees and other vegetation here. But I think this is a good spot to show that, one, we're not taking all the trees on the landscape, and number two, when we leave it, it looks pretty good. I'm not a big proponent of painting all the trees. It's the Forest Service rules and regulations dictate the trees that we leave, but I think it's an improvement. We're also leaving a lot of the hardwood species here, so this would be considered a pretty heavy cutting. We talk about thinning and forest restorations, but there are different levels of management. We can go in and do a light thinning or an understory thinning. We can do a more aggressive opening type thinning like we have here to allow light onto the forest floor, also create open space. So if we were to have a fire come through here, the fire and the flames would come down from the canopy down to the forest floor, and it would be safer and more manageable for wildfire crews to attack. So again, this here is a good depiction of what forest management can look like in our fire-prone mixed conifer stands in the inland Intermountain West. So again, this is Russ Vaughan for theforestblog.com. Thank you for joining me.